Good morning. We're back with Shades of Green on KDWN 720 AM in Las Vegas. Today we're talking custom homes with Cindy Coletti from SunWest Custom Homes. Cindy, we went to break and started talking about how does a couple or a family or a person that wants to build their dream home get started. And we talked about originally we come to you and we think about, maybe we need an architect or whatever. So tell us your approach, and mostly I want you to tell us the woman's approach to being a contractor and building a custom home.
Well, I'm not quite sure how to answer this, but I can tell you, as a lady contractor, which is different. I mean, there's not a whole lot of lady contractors out there. I remember there was another lady that lived in Colorado Springs too, and I remember she died shortly after I moved there, and I went to her funeral, and I felt like her son was giving the eulogy. I thought, oh my God, that could be me,
Easy now, you got plenty of years left.
Yeah, thank you, I hope so. But, because there's not too many lady contractors. What was funny, though, starting to build in Florida, I was in my late 30s, when I started building homes in Florida, and I did all the calling and, coordinating the subcontractors and everything. I'm the contractor then, And occasionally I remember having to call maybe the plumber at his home to see if he's going to be out in the job, the next day. But I'd have to be a little careful. You have to think a little. So I would call and I'd say, Mrs. Jones, this is Cindy with El Rancho West. Your husband Fred is working on the house that I'm building. Is he there? I need to talk to him about it. Oh yeah, hold on a minute. Now, think about it. If I just said, hi, is Fred there? It's like, who the heck is this, So little funny things as a woman, you have to be a little careful and think ahead a little bit. Conversely, sometimes I got some of the fellas working on the job site and everything would give me a little extra help and everything because I'm a lady. Oh, I'll help you with this, I'll help you with that. One thing was, my husband gets a kick out of this, that I would hate to see them. I put a little sign up, no spitting or swearing on the job, Because
That's totally against construction and contracting.
I hate it because you'd walk along a slab on grade in Florida, no basements or anything, and you'd see all these spit marks. I hated that. So I put a sign up, no spitting, no cursing too, So it was kind of fun, being a lady in that regard. Another thing I feel, when we moved to Colorado, I started to advertise my homes as homes built with a woman's touch in mind. I think, even though men do a great job designing, they really do, but when it comes to the interior parts of the house, and let's say even window placement, does a man really think that, I think the bed would go on this wall? No, he's got a window on this wall, a window on that wall, and you think, where do I put the bed now? So it's thinking ahead a little bit to furniture placement in the room and how to lay out the room accordingly, which a woman, I think, has a little better feel for than perhaps a man might. I'm not saying they're all like that, but I heard this from people, like, oh, your homes are much more livable, I like them. But even, I did pay attention to the garage, lots of storage. I've always been into cars, so the garage has always been important to me too. So I wanted to have nice, workshop, garage space and everything for the guys too, But that was a little bit of a touch, with a woman's touch in mind, so to speak.
How about kitchens? I mean, that's always a major room in the house, and a very expensive room as well. So you want to get that one right.
The kitchen is the most expensive. Kitchens and bathrooms are the most expensive rooms in a home. A bedroom, what is it? 4 walls, 4 windows. Yeah, it's a box. Kitchens and bathrooms are the most expensive, and it is important. Sometimes I notice that they don't put enough room between, let's say, the island and then the area where your sink might be or range, and you pull the door down for the oven and you're hitting the other side. So you do have to pay and this is where a woman comes to mind. I'm in the kitchen a lot, so I know what I like, what you should have, where the oven should be, where the sink, and men, I don't think, have that ability is quite as good.
It's the functionality that counts, doesn't it, right?
Yes.
Yep.
But again, always a downside. I will never know how many homes I lost that I could have built because some guy said, I don't want a woman building my home. I mean, that
interesting.
that can happen, you
I
know?
was wondering if there were some downsides.
Oh
and
yeah,
so
there's
there,
always
there were some downsides.
sometimes a downside to it. Yeah, yeah. But sometimes the woman can override because it's usually the women that come out and they see the home, they like the kitchen, they like this, they like that, and they'll convince the husband, I know she's a woman, but look at this house, this looks really nice, she can do a good job. So okay, so it's a little bit of a battle there.
Did you end up working more with the wives or the husbands when you're designing and building the home?
Definitely, I think more with the wives.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
they
that was a
enjoyed
plus
working with
overall
me.
then.
Pardon?
So that was a plus overall.
I think in the long run there was a plus. Like I say, I'll never know how many homes I didn't wind up building because of some man being upset. You know.
Well, then the question is, did you ever sit idle because you didn't have any homes to build?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you ever sit idle because you had no
Oh,
homes?
I don't think I ever sat idle. No,
Well,
it
there
was
you have it. So
always
as long as you're always
something
busy,
going on. Yes, yes.
The ones you miss, you pick up something
Oh
somewhere else.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was good.
And how about finish designs of the finish? Tile, trim, windows. You talked about window placement, but how about window styles? And the architecture of the home. You were involved in designing the homes, I assume.
One thing, especially when we moved to Colorado, because look at the views, Colorado Springs, you got mountains and everything. Something I do take into consideration, first of all, is the lot that it's built on and what kind of views do you have. So you want to maximize those views with nice windows and maybe floor-to-ceiling windows. So you're going to take in that whole view, placement of them. Another important thing is sun exposure too. You want to place the windows so that you get maximum light coming in, but you don't want the sun blaring in too. So a lot to consider as you lay out a house plan. When it comes to a lot of areas. Yeah.
That is true. And I built my log home in Colorado, and it was facing east, overlooking the sandstone ranch with a prow on the front, with floor-to-ceiling windows, with windows up above. So it was set so on winter solstice I had direct sunlight at right 90 degrees in my windows. On summer solstice the sun was over to this side where I only had one window, and then the porch was covered with a roof, so I had very little sun exposure in the summer.
Yeah.
So I had no air conditioning. And
you don't in Colorado, no.
people in Las Vegas are like, what? And in the winter, I heated the majority of my house with a fireplace that was in the center of the house, a 60,000 BTU fireplace in the center of the house, heated the majority of the house. So my heating bills were like $45 a month. And so in the summertime, my electric bills were $20, $25.
Yeah.
So it was a very cheap house to operate.
Hey, that's good.
With a gorgeous view of a huge 900-acre ranch. And then when you look out the back, it was all just forests and trees.
Yeah.
So that's a completely different setting than you would have here in Las Vegas. But I got hooked on views, so now I have a house that sits on the edge of a ridge and overlooks the mountains to the east in Henderson.
Yeah.
So it's important. The views are important. It's very important to set your house properly on your lot.
Absolutely.
So you take advantage of the view and of the sun and consider that. So those are all good points. Any input on energy conservation or keeping your houses green? Any specific things you were doing to that? One of them is setting the house properly, like you said, getting the right sun exposure.
Yeah. Well, of course, dual pane windows. That's
Okay.
and the house that we're doing, that we have out in McDonald Highlands, this model home that we have called Water's Edge, and that house, we do have solar panels on it. Okay, we do offer solar panels to our customers. It's not, we don't put them on every house, but we do offer it. But every house also has low-E, high-performance windows.
Okay, good.
I think they have gas in between them or something, and it stops the heat from penetrating
I believe
in.
it's argon gas in the windows.
Yes, yeah. So we do have that in our home. So we're trying to make them somewhat energy efficient, but still be able to bring in the views. It's kind of like hard to have these great views, but then the sun comes in,
Right.
So you're.
So you can have the right overhangs too.
A lot of overhangs are good too. Yes, definitely. That helps quite a bit.
And then something that SunWest has done here is bringing the indoors and the outdoors. That was something that they kind of actually pioneered out here in 1998.
Bring the outdoors in.
Bring the out.
And the outdoors.
So more about this when we come back, and we'll be back after this break with Shades of Green on KDWN.